Hello and welcome back to Movie Recap Factory. Today we will give you a recap of an action crime movie from 2015 titled Wildcard. Spoilers ahead, and without further ado, let's get started. The movie starts with the girl arriving at a restaurant, where Nick Wilde, the protagonist in the movie, is already having his drink. The girl gets a Diet Pepsi and goes to sit at a table in the back. As soon as she settles down, Nick goes to her and says that as she entered the restaurant, he understood that she is a girl who enjoys a good time. Now we see her boyfriend arrive at the restaurant in his red Mustang. He joins Dee Dee, while she tells him that they should leave the restaurant as there is this drunk man who will disturb them. Her boyfriend, Osgood, says it won't be a problem, and both start discussing their future together, while, once again, Nick introduces himself and asks Dee Dee to come and dance with him. She asks him to leave them alone, but upon insisting, Osgood and Nick get into a fight. Nick puts his hand in Osgood's hair and pulls off his wig. Dee Dee holds Osgood's hand and drags him out of the restaurant so they can stop fighting. Nick follows them outside and both fight again, in which we see that Osgood gives Nick a good beating. Nick leaves and Dee Dee runs to Osgood, and we can see them having a small kiss. Before they can leave, Osgood bends to get his wig from the ground, but Dee Dee says that she likes him without it. It is very late and dark in the night when we see someone dropping a woman from a car on the side of the road. The next scene opens at a hospital where the same woman who was dropped from the car is brought into the emergency room, all wounded and bleeding. The emergency staff keeps asking her for the name of who did this to her, but she keeps repeating Nick before she gets unconscious. The scene shifts to a motel where Nick can be seen in bed. Then we see him driving his car to work. He reaches his office, and from the outside view of the office, we can see that Nick works as a security consultant. Next, he enters the office, where his associate tells him about some letters that he has received. Nick doesn't pay much attention to those, and he stands in the corner of the office while a customer enters. He introduces himself as Cyrus and tells Nick that he heard about him from an ex-client in Boston and that he wants security while he goes to a casino. Nick agrees to do the job and Cyrus leaves. We can then see that Nick drives his car to a restaurant. As Nick is about to enter, Osgood meets him outside the restaurant and thanks him. He also pays him $500 for the job and tells him that Dee Dee is in love with him after he beat Nick last night. After he's done talking with Osgood, Nick goes into the restaurant where he gossips with the bartender while they both listen to a couple sitting at the table next to the counter. The lady bartender then goes to serve the customer, and when she comes back, she tells Nick that Holly just called. She also hands him a paper and tells him to not waste his grapefruit juice. Nick goes to Holly's house, and as he enters, Holly keeps talking to him hiding in a room. He asks her to come out, upon which she reveals her wounded face and tells him about what happened to her last night at the hotel Golden Nugget. She tells him in detail how she was exploited in the name of a party and that she needs his help. Nick says to her that it's not a hotel to be at, and she should have known better. Hearing that, Holly says that she wants to sue the man and all she needs is a name. He swears that he has no point of contact in that hotel and leaves. On his way, he stops at a hotel, goes down to its laundry room, and explains the physical attributes of the man who abused Holly to one of the staff members named Millicent. She tells Nick that if she found anything about the guy, they will be meeting at a burger joint after her shift. When Nick goes to the burger joint where they are supposed to meet, he finds Millicent eating her burger. She describes the man, Danny DeMarco, and his bodyguards. She warns Nick not to go after them if he wants to live. Now Nick knows all the details, but he calls Holly and lies to her that he couldn't find anything. She cuts the call saying that he is a liar. Next, Nick goes to meet Cyrus and shows him around the city. After some sightseeing around Vegas City, they go to a casino where Nick leaves Cyrus saying he will be safe over there. Nick goes back to Holly's place, where he tells her the name of her abuser, Danny DeMarco, and all the information she needs to sue him. As he is about to leave, she tells him to wait, saying that she needs to write the details down. Nick waits, but now he is getting bitter with Holly. She realizes his attitude and asks why is he so angry. After that, Nick confronts her and says that she is a liar too, and that she never wanted to sue him. She agrees with Nick and says that she wants Nick to get to them and soften them up so she can hurt Danny the same way he hurt her. Nick leaves without saying anything, and he goes to the Golden Nugget Hotel. He wears a Santa Claus red hat and knocks on Danny's suite's door. There, he introduces himself as someone who was sent by Baby to bring a girl for Danny. The guard which came to the door doesn't let him in. but the second one, upon hearing the name of Baby, brings him into his private chamber. Danny asks Nick where the girl is and if she is beautiful. Nick replies that she was beautiful before someone disrespected her last night. Danny gets out of his bathing tub and offers $50,000 to Nick and says that he should leave, or else he can get a bullet. Nick turns around as if he is leaving, but instead, the scene takes an unexpected turn as Nick starts smashing Danny's bodyguards. Danny tries to shoot him, but Nick amazingly dodges the bullets. In no time, he gets done with them and ties up both the bodyguards to each other, while making Danny sit on a chair. And then Holly enters the room. She tortures Danny in the same way he tortured her. She put a cutter on Danny's private part and commanded him to say that he loves her. If she felt that Danny is being sincere, then she'll spare him. This keeps on going for a while, but in the end, she spares him. After that, Holly and Nick leave the suite and take away the $50,000, which they share equally. From there on, Nick goes back to the casino where he left Cyrus, and before he meets him, he plays some blackjack. He leaves the game unfinished just to come back later. When he sits back at the table, he plays a wonderful game and wins $500,000. We then see Nick and Cyrus having their drinks. And just when Nick is about to get the cash in exchange for poker chips, he changes his mind and goes back to the playing table and loses everything. In frustration and in rage of losing everything, he panics and blacks out. Cyrus gets him to a room and tells Nick that he wants to learn how to be unfearful. For that, he is ready to pay any amount that Nick wants. Nick rejects the offer and goes to the bar in the casino below. Just when he is having his drink there, thugs of Danny DeMarco barge in, and Nick, in the fury of losing $500,000, gives each of them a good thrashing. When he is done with them, the guards of Baby reach the casino and ask Nick to come along. He goes with them. There, he is taken to a place where DeMarco is already present. DeMarco claims that Nick came into his suite, killed his bodyguards, and took away $50,000. Baby asks Nick what he has to say about the allegations. Nick says DeMarco is lying, and Baby can check by checking under his pants where he got a small wound. Danny leaves in embarrassment and says to Nick that he will come after him. Next, we see Nick once again having his grapefruit juice at the same bar from the office in the morning, where Cyrus is already present, and he offers Nick $500,000 and a ticket to Corsica. Meanwhile, they are busy in their casual talks when Nick mentions that he is going to be murdered, and right then, Danny and his thugs barge into the restaurant. Cyrus creates a distraction which allows Nick to run from there. Nick hides on the roof, but then jumps down and kills all the assassins and Danny using a knife from the restaurant. Then he gets back to his car, where Cyrus comes and once again offers him $500,000 and the ticket. Nick refuses once more at first, but eventually, after accepting, he leaves after shaking hands with his new friend. Nick goes to his motel, packs up all his stuff, and leaves Vegas. So that was all from the movie. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below, and do subscribe to our channel to view more of our amazing movie recaps, and hit that bell icon to receive instant notifications from our side. See you all next time.